It is the Riot Podcast. Good day and welcome to the Wednesday, May 11th edition, the first edition in over a week, featuring Nikki.
Ta-da! Oh, was I supposed to do this? Was I supposed to come
I was supposed
in
to be showing up or something? I don't know.
You know, I wish you guys would stop asking me and telling me what to do.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back on the show today. And we had a great show. You didn't miss a beat after having a week or so off.
Oh, well, I'm glad to be back. I'm exhausted, though, man. It is nap time. This is all I could do.
I haven't woken this early in almost a week and a half. I've been sleeping until 11.
I practiced yesterday because the medicine that I'm still on, I mean, just completely wipes you out. But I've been trying to go to bed early to kind of like counteract it. So I did a practice run yesterday to get up early. And I just remember feeling like trash. And I was like, oh no, what's today going to be like? And then today I was just like, well, we have no choice. So we're just coming in.
And Nikki was saying, at least for today, not allowed to have caffeine,
I can't
sugar,
have anything.
Anything fun, it sounds like.
No, not for a while. I see my doctor again today, tomorrow. So once I talk to them, but yeah, we should do a food fight tomorrow.
Yes.
What do we think?
Yeah.
Yes, let's
Nikki's like,
schedule
let's
it.
splurge tomorrow, no matter what.
So I'll be able to recover then.
Yeah, she made it back just in time for National Eat Whatever You Want Day, even though it doesn't really seem like you can eat whatever you want.
Not yet.
You have to observe that tomorrow instead, it sounds like.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about some of the things that we feel really bad when we eat. And there was one thing, too, and this is something that I didn't figure out till almost like a year ago. And this was something that I thought was like really healthy. And so I never tried it because I thought it was like some healthy alternative to peanut butter. And that was Nutella.
Oh, you
I
did?
thought Nutella was like a very healthy alternative to peanut butter. Because it was like, I was like, hazelnut spread. That sounds gross. And then I finally tried it and I was like, this is incredible. This is healthy. And then after a while, I figured out that it is bad for you.
When you were
Really not
younger,
really good.
they used to always be like, oh, it was a hazelnut spread or like a chocolate sauce like alternative sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's probably awful for you.
Yeah, it's so bad for you. When I looked at the label, I was like, this isn't a healthy alternative to peanut butter.
So much fat, right? Oh my gosh.
It's terrible. Yeah, but we all went over some of the things that we felt like really bad about like eating. And my favorite one was when Hudson said his was sausage, gravy, and biscuits. Because we had talked about that a little bit yesterday. We were like, what are some of our favorite breakfast foods? And he was like, sausage, gravy, and biscuits is my favorite.
I love it. I just
ready.
I have a complex about it. Whenever I eat it, it can never be completely all joy as good as sausage, gravy, and biscuits is.
Well, it was
because
nice
of how bad it is
during
for
our
me.
spring fundraiser. Chris, who works here, he made homemade biscuits and sausage gravy.
So good.
And that was delicious. So now I feel like every fundraiser he's going to have to make.
He has to make that.
biscuits and
Yes.
gravy.
yeah.
It was so good.
So we're going to have it again.
That reminds me, Nikki, Isaiah said starting Friday, he's going to start making pancakes for everybody.
Whoa. I never said that. I
He
said
did.
that my new breakfast thing, because I've been on a little bit of a rotation. I was doing like the breakfast sandwiches before. Now I've moved on. It's like a little bit, that felt like a little bit childish. So
Yeah.
now I do the sausage pancake on a stick. You know, the good old corn dog looking thing that everybody eats when you're like 7 years old. And then
Or 23.
Or 23. And so now on Friday, I'm going to whip out the pancakes.
So you're going to make pancakes as in like from a batter?
Yes.
You are?
That's my plan.
Oh my gosh, don't let Michael come down and see that.
Why? Is he going to be mad at me?
Well, it depends how long the pancakes take.
No, it's not. What I was going to do is just...
You can buy the batter already made.
That's what I
Yeah.
told him. He didn't
Yeah.
even know about
I didn't know that was a thing, and then I said I could just use the waffle maker,
You could.
which would take like a second. It wouldn't take that long.
Well, it's a
so-
little
Yeah,
longer.
it's a little bit to clean.
Plan
though.
for 30.
I'll be fine.
Be happy if it takes you 15 minutes.
Yeah,
okay?
I'll be in and out of there in like 10 minutes. I'm so productive. You don't have to worry about it. It'll be all good. So, but I'm not making it for everybody, or else we're gonna be down there for like 2 hours.
Not
That's
even on the
right.
first day?
I can't, Hudson. I don't, because if I go down there and make a whole scene about how I'm making pancakes, then I can't make them every day. Because Michael will be like, "What is this celebration Monday with
That's
pancakes?"
right. Then you're
don't
on the
know.
radar. How about we just wait until Monday and we will get a report on how Pancake Friday goes?
You're saying can't. I am hearing won't.
I think
I
you
hear
just
it.
want me to make you breakfast every day. Is what this has come
It
to.
doesn't
You're
have to
like,
be every day.
You know what I'd like you to do is cut up little pieces of sausage and then you put in some maple syrup and then you make the waffle that way.
oh, make it that way with it built marshmallows in there. Oh, that sounds good. Because on Saturday I made Nutella pancakes, and that's why. See, the Nutella comes back around, but that's why I decided I'm gonna start making pancakes now. It's because I made like pancakes like with Nutella like stuffed into them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that sounds
gosh.
good.
They were so good.
See, I don't want you to make them for me every day because I don't want to be that unhealthy. But just once, it'd be nice.
I'll make it for you sometime.
All right,
Now,
sounds
once
like a
I get
deal.
it figured out, the first time it's going to be a disaster in there. I'm going to be lucky if I even make out a pancake and be able to eat one.
Can you please clean up after yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so clean. It'll be like the coffee closet, you know? It'll just be a little bit everywhere.
Well, all right. Enjoy the rest of the podcast today, but know that good things are coming here at Radio U.
Enjoy.
We'll
Have
see
a
you
good
guys.
day.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Well, Nikki is back today. She's been off for at least a week.
Yay.
And how I remember it all starting is that you came in one morning
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday,
Yeah.
okay? And you were trying to do the show and just shivering and like you normally you sit in your spot and you're there unless you get up to get coffee or something, and you were like walking around, leaning over the counter. So you were not feeling great.
My back was really hurting.
Yeah, and so I thought this is unusual, and it eventually got unusual enough that you had to leave.
I
and we had to get Isaiah to fill in on the spot. So what has happened since then?
Well, I had an infection, but the problem is whenever you go and they're like, well, I wonder what this infection is, like it's not an obvious one, then they send you to the hospital. So I spent a few days in the hospital, and they're still like, wonder what the infection was.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good. But when they spend a lot of time, trying to figure out what it is, they'll find every other problem with you.
Yeah, of course.
So never go do that. If they're like, yeah, we're just going to run some tests, if you could just say pass. I think next time I'll say pass. But oh my gosh, the nurses were so nice. And I felt, fine when I was in the hospital, but that is an ordeal.
Yeah, it's all crazy, but it was crazy when we were sitting here and every day we're like, I think Nikki's coming back tomorrow.
then
I think Nikki's coming back tomorrow. And so it does we were definitely worried when it was coming a couple days on end.
It was.
And we were starting to get really concerned. So we're glad to have you back, that's for sure. But sorry you had to go through the whole hospital thing.
It was weird. I haven't been in the hospital since I was younger, and I had a surgery, so it's kind of more structured.
Yeah.
This was just, hey, we'll have you wait for a while, and then we'll take some blood. We'll have you wait some more. But I felt so bad. Like the guy in the room next to me was he was throwing up.
Oh no.
Like every couple of minutes. And when he wasn't like throwing up, he was just heaving.
Oh no.
Like just dry heaving.
Yeah.
And it was so hard to sit through.
Yeah, how did they give that as he can't have his own room?
Well, he wasn't even my roommate. He was the room next to mine.
Oh, but you could still hear it. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you could. I almost asked, like, can we give him something?
Yeah.
What can we do? And then this poor...
You just keep turning the TV up louder and louder and louder.
I kept putting in my AirPods, and then they come talk to you, and you're like, well, I'll just take him out again.
Yeah, oh, you don't want to be rude.
And then the lady down the way, I have never heard... have you ever heard the term wailing?
Like wailing, like crying?
Yeah, like crying?
Yeah.
It's the only time I ever heard what I think actually wailing sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So the guy's throwing up, she's wailing, and I was just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
It was
Jeez.
very, very rough.
You didn't realize what you got yourself into.
I did
man.
not.
That is insane. So, it doesn't make this place seem so bad, does it?
I know, as long as Isaiah's not in there wailing, and
No
you're not
wailing
throwing
here.
up, I think I'm actually fine.
I think you're safe here.
So
You're
I'm glad
pretty
to be
safe.
back again. The nurses were wonderful, but I don't want to ever go back to the hospital again, ever.
All right. Well, we want you to stay here too.
Thank
So
you.
Stay out of the hospital, and we're glad to have you back.
I'm going to have you be my advocate next time. Be like, no, she can't go. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have them call you.
I'll be the brute force.
I'm the pushover. I'm like, okay, you think I should? But you'll
Whatever
say
you
no.
say.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you want to count on me for that.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So we had a question. I think Isaiah and I kind of got started on this a little bit yesterday. We wanted to bring it onto the show. It is, what is the most disappointing tourist attraction you've ever been to?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right?
Wow.
Did you have a good one, Isaiah?
Did I have a good answer
We
for
just
this?
started
off the
talking
rip?
about stuff we liked once you asked this.
But you want to know about what you didn't like?
I thought about a couple places when I was sitting over there. I feel like as of late, the places that I've been to that have been a little bit underwhelming, I feel like, and people are going to get upset because I'm going to start saying people's cities, and they're going to be like, oh my goodness, our city is awesome. I don't know why it's so underwhelming, but the first ones I thought of was like when I visited Chicago. I didn't think Chicago was that cool.
Chicago's changed.
I didn't think it was that cool. Like, you had like the Bean, which was like cool for like couple minutes.
Chicago is, I've been there briefly. I just feel it's not a very touristy city.
Well, it used to be better than it is now.
Yeah. And like if there's certain things, if you like certain things, then Chicago would be good for
like
you. But
your
just
wallet and stuff to not be taken.
If you like to be able
a big one, you
to
think?
drive, not even by thieves, just by parking, it'll be taken from you. But it's just not. You wouldn't plan a vacation to Chicago, right? Who would do that?
It used to be fun. I used to do that. I used to love
What
it.
did you do there?
Just walk around, see the pier, just see different stuff.
Yeah, but what does that take? Like 10 minutes?
Longer.
I mean, it's a big city, but
you can find things to do, but it just wasn't like Chicago's like a pretty large city. Like the majority of people in the United States obviously know what Chicago is, and it's a place that people go to visit. But at the same time, it didn't feel like one of those major city where there's a lot of stuff to do that was like really cool.
That was unique to the city.
Yes, and then the only other one I would say is I thought this place was really cool, but I did have some issues with it, and that was when I went to visit New Orleans, it was a really cool place, and there was a lot of really unique stuff there. But the thing that I couldn't get past was just like the smell. It just smells so bad there, and that's just because like it's like the low water level.
Sure.
And obviously, they had like the hurricane and everything that came through there.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to just smell the beignets.
I know it doesn't work that way. They were good
if you have powdered sugar underneath you can't smell anything else.
They were good, but at the same time, that smell down there is just tough. Especially I went in the summertime too, which I'm sure didn't help. But New Orleans was cool. It's just that smell was a little bit tough.
Do you have a good one, Nikki? You've traveled a lot.
I'm trying to think of like an actual like a monument or like a place that I went, but I think everything was pretty good. I just remember sometimes when we were younger and maybe I didn't have the best attitude going to a place.
Right.
And
exactly.
so I remember I think I didn't like Disney when I was young.
Yeah, I know. This place stinks.
And now you're like, man, I would just pay to have my parents pay to take me to Disney.
Yeah, of course.
So I think it was probably more those sort of cases. But I always liked going most places.
Yeah, I make a point to try to not go places that will disappoint me, especially now. Like I guess when I was a kid, maybe I was a little more easily impressed, and now as an adult, I will never do anything on a vacation without reading a million reviews.
Yeah.
So I really try to avoid stuff that spending my hard-earned money. I'm not going to go waste it. But I'll say, I think, and this could be just because I lived near it, so I experienced it a lot. But a lot of the stuff in D.C. just isn't that interesting. Washington, D.C.
Sure.
Especially after you see it once. You see the Lincoln Memorial once, and I don't know, maybe you're supposed to go back and have such a reverence for what Lincoln did and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just a statue. It's just a big statue. So
I do remember growing up, the one where I could tell my mom didn't like it was when we went to Niagara Falls. And she did not like buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
That side of it. It was the only place where we checked into the hotel, saw a bit of the Niagara Falls, and then I just remember my mom saying, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And then we get in there and we leave the hotel and we're gone.
Some parts of that area, not great. I've actually heard Niagara Falls, the actual falls itself is one that a lot of people say.
Underwhelming?
Underwhelming. I think it's pretty crazy. I don't know. I just like nature, I guess. I just appreciate the majesty and the power of the rushing water.
Well, Jeff says Plymouth Rock was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
I've never seen it either. I've been to New England, never seen Plymouth Rock, but that sounds, it's just a rock, right? It's not even like the biggest rock. It's
actually,
just
whenever you went on vacation, anything historical.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's it's not that I don't have appreciation for it. It's just like, it's never like that cool to me, I guess. Like when you were talking about with DC and stuff, I was thinking about that one too. Like when I went on like a DC trip, it was like cool, but at the same time, it's like, how cool is it really? Like, but I respect it. But at the same time, I didn't love it.
Well, you don't want to learn too much on a vacation either.
I know. When they try to sneak all that stuff in, you're like, no, I'm looking at a rock. Why am I here looking at a rock?
Yeah, you go to D.C. and it's the entire city of the Hall of Presidents, which nobody goes to at Disney World. You use that for the air conditioning.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. So, let's stop being so negative. Why do we bring this up? It's supposed to be a happy day.
Well, you want to another day we could talk about our favorite places?
Our favorite places to go.
That's even shorter of a list.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Cause for celebration today, not just because Nikki is back.
Yay.
It's
Thank you,
also-
Isaiah, for filling in for me, by the way.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I owe
but-
you one meal.
Now we're talking.
Well, today is also something to celebrate. It is National Eat What You Want Day. So when Nikki
no.
gets you that meal, you can
You
eat
get
whatever
what you
you
want.
want. You don't have to feel bad about it.
So kind of like a cheat meal day or something?
Yeah, right? Because I think most of us, right, even if you're not on a diet, you're still conscious once you hit a certain point in your life. You just are conscious of everything you're eating. You know it's bad for you, or you know you should be eating something healthier, even if you're just always I think that swims around in the back of our minds.
Yeah.
But today is a day where you don't have to be conscious of that. You eat whatever you want. You don't feel bad about it. So if that was the case, what are you eating? What's your cheat meal that you know you always feel horrible about eating, but it's still so good?
Well, horrible's a strong word.
Yeah. Don't make us feel that bad about ourselves.
I know. Isaiah, what would you pick first?
I think that the first things that come to mind when I think about things that I would want to eat today, I don't know, my go-to cheat meals, I guess, are like Oreos and milk, but I still eat those every day. So I can't,
what are you cheating from?
I know exactly. So
You'd be cheating on Oreos if you didn't eat.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
when you have all your ice cream?
Yeah. And so I don't know, maybe ice cream would be a good one. Maybe if I get like my mint chocolate chip milkshake, that's always a great cheat meal for me. That's like my go-to. Like if I want to do something special for myself, I guess, that's like my go-to
That's
thing.
not a meal. You need to pick a full
Yeah.
meal.
You're thinking like a full meal?
Yeah, an actual meal.
Well,
That's a
not like-
dessert.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
right.
feel like if I'm cheating, then it has to be dessert. Like there's not like a meal for me that I would not eat.
That you
I
would
guess.
feel. Yeah, but would you feel bad about it?
Would I feel bad about it?
Yeah, would you just be eating it? You'd be going to town. You're like, oh, this is good, but man, it's gonna be on my thighs later. You don't think about that?
I don't know.
A moment on the
on the
lips.
lips,
On the lips.
lifetime on the hips.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I feel like whenever, and I just don't feel that bad about eating food.
Nah.
I guess like maybe like McDonald's would be one. Like whenever I eat out like that, but at the same time, I don't eat a lot. So whenever I
you
eat
need to
something
work
bad,
harder on that
Yeah, no,
then,
right. Whenever I
okay?
eat something bad, it's always in moderation.
He makes me sick.
Yeah, you
know.
quiet down over there. Well, what's one for you, Nikki?
Oh, okay. Well, let's just start the list. There's cheap Chinese when you can get like an orange chicken and rice. And
you're
when you
talking
get
my
egg
language.
rolls.
That I think is healthy. That's healthy
no!
in my mind.
I actually don't think that sounds that bad either.
When you get
when I eat
the-
Chinese, I never feel bad about it.
Oh, I do.
Unless there's a Band-Aid in.
yeah, then you feel regret. Let's say maybe pizza. Like if you go
yeah.
with a Detroit style pizza. Chicken wings, because you can just have a
See,
lot
I
of
don't
those.
feel bad about that either.
Well, we got to start
It's
doing
lean
that.
protein.
Well, no, not when prepared that way.
No.
So I think that's just some right off the top.
See, mine, I know right off the bat. Sausage, gravy, and biscuits.
Ooh, you're
That's a
right.
good
There's
one.
there's no health benefits to that whatsoever.
But it's so good.
But it's so good.
It is amazing. It is delicious, and it is like one of my top 5 favorite things that I can eat. But also, I feel bad about it every time.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time I order, it's just like, man, you're just a big fatty, aren't you?
You big
You're
fatty.
just a dumb fatso. You
Okay,
can't.
well-
Why don't you get a salad, you fatty?
Your inner monologue
Yeah.
is really mean.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
you ever
mean
nice
to
to
me.
yourself? You need to practice self-talking to yourself.
Yeah,
to be
you
real
do.
nice.
I don't know. I still let myself eat it. So.
You shouldn't be Isaiah, who's like, everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's great. Hudson to the mirror, like, you fatty.
Yeah.
You sausage and baby grits today.
Isaiah's in better shape than I am, so something's working for him.
Yeah, it works out.
Yeah, I think it is part of the problem though, where with my sausage gravy meal, where when you do feel so bad about it, it almost reinforces that it's like, it's like
It's that much better.
It's such
The
a treat to
forbidden?
have it.
Yeah.
So forbidden. Yeah.
You're not supposed to have it, so when you do, you're
Actually,
like, I'm doing something bad.
This brings up, I had an interesting thought the other day. I thought I should get a job at a pizza place. Mm-hmm. And the thinking behind it was, I like pizza so much, and there's like 2 pizza places right across the street from my house, so I always smell it. It smells so good. And I just think, if I worked at a pizza place for long enough where pizza wasn't a big deal anymore, It's not that I would stop liking pizza. It just wouldn't feel such like
bad.
a treat when I did get to have it.
Sure.
That maybe I would have a healthier relationship with pizza if only I could go all in on pizza.
I think
for
it
a
would
long enough time.
take too long for you to get to that point.
And I'd be so far gone.
You'd be so far gone. Months down the road, you'd be like, well, at least I don't like pizza anymore, but I put on 60
I'm
pounds.
400 pounds, but you know who doesn't eat pizza anymore? It's not a big deal to me.
In the long run, this will pay off.
I love our thinking with
Thank
that.
goodness I'm making minimum wage here.
But all the pizza you can eat.
Yeah.
Well, it's National Eat What You Want Day. So if you are also like the sausage and gravy person, or what is your go-to favorite that you know is bad, feel free to text it in so we could just think about all the delicious food.
And just go for it today.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
This is a good one. This is a really good one. A Florida woman and a Florida man.
Hey, a Florida woman.
Yeah, interacting here. The woman in question, her name is Christine Turman. She's 57, and she has been arrested for a misdemeanor battery charge, but that doesn't even come close to describing what she did. She allegedly doused her neighbor, a man named Lawrence Stenzel. She doused him with urine.
From a bathroom?
From her bathroom, because she had been fed up that his chicken kept pooping on her back patio.
First off, where is this? I mean, I live in the suburbs, and it seems like this would have been taken care of.
This is
by not having chickens.
Here we go. It's in a mobile home park, so that probably explains a little bit of it. In St. Petersburg, Florida.
I first saw the story, I thought it was chicken pee. I was like,
how do you collect that?
I know. I was like, how can the chicken pee in the bucket?
I mean, collecting any kind of pee is concerning, and that's actually the number one thing I was wondering about.
Yeah, how that is.
Did she just have this urine on hand, or was this something she had been building and building? She's like, that chicken on the backpack, I know what I'll do. And she spent like a week collecting her own waste.
I feel like
to douse on Lawrence.
Is that latter one. So basically the neighbor was not reining in his chickens. So the chickens were going on her back patio area, and then she was getting mad at that. And that's when she decided from wherever to throw the bucket of pee on him.
Fight
and
fire
she
with
admits
fire
to
in a
it.
way.
She was read her rights, and she was booked in county jail.
Dang. So is that not the right way to handle that dispute?
I never want chickens, so I think that's part one.
Yeah.
This is way outside of my wheelhouse with it. And I don't
Way
think...
outside your chicken coop?
Chicken coop.
Yeah.
Good one. And I also feel like, in my mind, I've never thought to myself, well, I'll show them.
Yeah.
And then proceed to think that peeing and throwing it at them is the way to get back at them.
Collecting your urine in a bucket for any period of time feels like a self-own in a way. You know, like it just feels like you're punishing yourself. You just had a bucket of urine just sitting in your bathroom.
You're mad when you're mad enough.
You think she? You're
mad.
You think she spilled a bucket along the way?
I bet she didn't
probably
care.
one time in there she accidentally kicked it over or something. Dang it! It's everywhere.
And I don't like to judge or anything, but it seems like on her mug shots, there's some of the rashes that happen when we have other problems.
Yeah.
So maybe when you're impaired in such a way that you think, oh, yeah, of course, I'm just going to pee in the bucket and throw it at somebody.
Yeah, right. So the clouded judgment.
I think.
That chicken poop will do that to you,
I would have taken the chicken and just removed it and put it, like drove it down like a few miles and just put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But not do this.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options you could have gone with. Not bucket of pee to the face.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.